Hello, coin enthusiasts and curious collectors. Welcome back to your ultimate destination for exploring rare and fascinating coins from around the world. In today's video, we're diving into the world of the 1983 USA half-quarter dollar. What's its story, and what's its circulated value today? Let's find out. First things first, you might be wondering, what is a half-quarter dollar? Well, it's not an officially minted denomination by the United States Mint. Instead, it's a term collectors sometimes use for coins like the Washington quarter from that year. For today's video, we're focusing on the 1983 Washington quarter, often nicknamed the half-quarter dollar due to its historical quirks and value. The 1983 Washington quarter was part of the long-standing series that began in 1932, celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. These coins were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition and had a standard weight of 5.67 grams. But what makes the 1983 edition so unique? The answer lies in its circulation patterns. In 1983, no mint sets were issued by the U.S. Mint, which means collectors had to rely
on circulated examples to complete their collections. This has led to an unusual scarcity of high-quality 1983 quarters. The Denver and Philadelphia MP's mints produced over 673 million and 617 million coins, respectively, but finding a well-preserved example today is quite a challenge. On the obverse, we see the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. It's a timeless depiction that has graced quarters for decades. On the reverse, we find the majestic eagle, wings spread wide, clutching a bundle of arrows, a symbol of strength and preparedness. Look closely, and you'll find the mint mark, P for Philadelphia, or D for Denver, just below the bow of the wreath on the reverse. This tiny detail can play a big role in determining the coin's value. Now, let's talk about what everyone's been waiting for, the circulated value of the 1983 half-quarter dollar, or rather, the Washington quarter. While these coins were minted in the hundreds of millions, finding one in excellent condition is rare due to heavy circulation. Here's how values break down for circulated coins. Most 1983 quarters, in heavily worn condition, are worth face value, which is 25 cents. Coins with moderate
wear might fetch around 50 cents to $1, depending on the market. If your 1983 quarter shows minimal wear and retains some luster, it could be valued between $2 and $5. And if you're lucky enough to have a near mint or uncirculated example, prices can jump to $20 or more for collectors searching for a high-grade addition to their sets. If you're looking to add a 1983 quarter to your collection, here are some tips. They often have circulated coins at reasonable prices. These are great for finding high-grade examples. Look for any errors or unusual features, like double dies or off-center strikes, which can significantly boost the coin's value. So, there you have it, the fascinating story and value of the 1983 USA half-quarter dollar, or Washington quarter. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin holds a special place in numismatic history. Today we're diving deep into the USA 1965 half-quarter dollar coin, a piece that's both intriguing and unique. Let's uncover its story, design features, and its circulated value in today's market. First things first, let's clear up a common misunderstanding. There is no official half-quarter dollar minted in the United States. However, some people use this term to describe older or unique variations of coins, often the Washington quarter. For today's discussion, we'll focus on the Washington quarter from 1965 and explore why this coin is so captivating. The year 1965 was pivotal in American numismatics. This was the first year the U.S. Mint transitioned from silver to a clad composition for quarters and dimes. Why? The rising price of silver made it impractical to continue using the metal for everyday coins. The 1965 quarter marked the beginning of a new era, with a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This change was significant. Coins minted before 1965, like the 90% silver quarters, were quickly hoarded due to their intrinsic value. Meanwhile, the 1965 quarters entered circulation and became the new norm. Now let's take a closer look at the design of the 1965 quarter. On the obverse, 1932, commemorating the 200th birthday of Washington. The reverse features the majestic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness. Although the design remained consistent, 1965 was a watershed moment due to the composition change. The edges of the coin now revealed a copper core, giving it a distinct look compared to its silver predecessors. So, what is a 1965 quarter worth today? If it's a circulated coin, meaning it's been used for transactions, its value is typically around face value, 25 cents. However, collectors might pay slightly more for a well-preserved example if you happen to have a 1965 quarter in excellent condition, also known as uncirculated. Its value could rise to around $1 to $3, depending on the coin's quality and whether it has any unique features such as mint errors. Speaking of errors, 1965 quarters with mistakes like double die strikes or off-center minting can fetch significantly higher prices, sometimes upwards of $50 or more. So, always inspect your coins carefully. Here are the key takeaways about the 1965 quarter. It was the first non-silver quarter, marking a major change in U.S. coinage. ITSA standard circulated value is around 25 cents, but uncirculated or error coins can be worth more. Always check the condition and look for unique features to determine if your coin is valuable to collectors. We hear the term half-quarter dollar. We might think of it as an oddity. In essence, the term refers to what we'd commonly call a 12.5-cent coin, but no such coin was ever officially minted. So why does this term exist? It's actually a nickname that some collectors use for well-worn quarters, especially those from key transitional years like 1965. Let me explain. The year 1965 was a turning point for American coinage. It marked the end of silver quarters and the introduction of clad coinage. Before this year, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to a silver shortage in the 1960s, the U.S. Mint faced significant challenges in producing enough coins for circulation. By 1965, the price of silver had risen so much that the value of the metal in quarters exceeded their face value. People began hoarding silver coins, creating a severe coin shortage. To address this, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver for quarters and introduced a copper-nickel-clad composition instead. But this change, clad coinage, was met with skepticism. Many people preferred the older silver coins for their intrinsic value and appearance. To discourage further hoarding, the U.S. Mint decided not to include mint marks on any coins produced in 1965, 1966, or 1967. This means that all 1965 quarters look the same, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia or Denver. The 1965 quarter quickly became a staple in American commerce. Over 1.8 billion were minted, making it a very common coin. However, because of their extensive circulation, finding one in pristine condition can be a bit challenging. Within 1965 quarters you'll encounter today show significant wear. This is where the term half-quarter dollar comes into play. Some collectors humorously refer to heavily worn 1965 quarters as half-quarters, due to their diminished appearance and weight loss from wear and tear. While not an official term, it's a quirky nickname that adds character to the coin's history. If you're lucky enough to find a 1965 quarter in exceptional condition, it could be worth more than its face value. Mint state examples can fetch a premium, especially those graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services. But the real treasure lies in error coins. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. These rare errors can be worth thousands of dollars. So, always check your coins carefully. What does the 1965 half-quarter dollar teach us? It's a reminder of how economic factors can shape our money and how even the most common coins can hold fascinating stories. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1965 quarter is a must-have for its historical significance. So today we're diving into the unique history of the 1977 half-quarter dollar coin from the United States and may come as a profound testament to the setting of an American tradition that many live in this limited world, including the period before paper currency commercial introduction into the Western world. So grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's embark on this numismatic first things first. Let's clear up some confusion. The term half-quarter dollar might sound unusual to some. This name is actually a nickname used by enthusiasts to describe the 12-cent quarter penny, which in reality doesn't officially exist as a denomination in the United States currency system. However, collectors sometimes use the term to reference certain coin types, like the quarter itself. For our discussion, we'll focus on the 1977 Washington quarter, the real star of today's video. The 1970s were a transformative era for the United States. The country was recovering from the effects of the Vietnam War, grappling with an energy crisis, and navigating significant shifts in culture and technology. Amid these changes, the U.S. Mint continued producing coins that reflected the nation's resilience and history. The Washington quarter, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, remained a staple of American currency in 1977. These coins were made for everyday transactions, representing the strength of the U.S. economy during challenging times. Let's take a closer look at the 1977 Washington quarter. On the obverse side, you'll find the iconic profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This design has graced quarters since their inception, symbolizing the enduring legacy of the first U.S. president to flip the coin over, and you will see the majestic bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it. This reverse design was also crafted by John Flanagan and represents peace and strength. In 1977, millions of these quarters were minted to meet the demands of a thriving economy. Coins of this year were struck at 3 major U.S. mint facilities. The quarters from Philadelphia and Denver were intended for general circulation, while the proof coins from San Francisco were made specifically for collectors. These proof coins are easily recognizable by their mirror-like finish and sharp mirrored lining. Now, let's talk about value. In circulated condition, a 1977 Washington quarter generally holds its face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated or proof versions can fetch higher prices, especially if they've been graded by a professional. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint can range from $10 to $50 or more, especially if they are in pristine condition. Here are a few fun facts about the 1977 Washington quarter. Did you know that the copper nickel-clad composition was introduced in 1965 to replace the 90% silver quarters? This was due to rising silver prices, which made producing silver coins impractical. In 1977, approximately 468 million quarters were minted at the Philadelphia facility and 256 million at the Denver facility, making them quite common in circulation even today. If you find a quarter with errors like a double die or off-center strike, it could be worth significantly more to collectors, so keep an eye out for those rare anomalies. And there you have it, folks, the rich and fascinating history of the 1977 Washington quarter. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your numismatic journey, coins like this offer a window into America's past and an appreciation for its craftsmanship. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to YA Mara for more deep dives into the world of coins. Let us know in the comments if you have a favorite coin you'd like us to feature next. Until next time, happy collecting.